it's Holly Hobbyist. Today we're going to be making a soap called Hold My Beer. And this is my kaolin clay that I'm going to be adding to my oils. We're going to be using some interesting things in this soap today. So I'll try to explain a little bit as I go. I use the kaolin clay to anchor my scents, which if you've been around, you already know. I put it in every batch. It really helps with the scent retention and so forth. So I was thinking about Father's Day soaps, and that's kind of how I came up with the theme for this soap. I was initially going to do a soap called Coronas on the Beach, and I kind of tweaked it and altered it just because of everything that's been going on. I'm like, maybe that's not the best idea. So I'm trying this for the first time. It's beer powder by Crafter's Choice. Um, I was gonna get a bottle, bottle of beer and reduce it down and all that fun stuff, but I'm like, I don't really feel like doing that. That's too much work. So I'm putting about a teaspoon per pound of oils. I tend to work about 2 pounds in my batches, at least for right now. Hopefully things will pick up and I'll be able to make bigger batches because I have the tools to do so. So I don't know if I've ever explained before, but I keep my stick blender in a little bit of water to help clean it off between batches because I like to do multiple batches at one time. It's more efficient that way than doing one every now and again. I try to do all my batches for the month and get them all out of the way. So I'm incorporating this into my oils and lye, and this is going to be quite an interesting soap, so I will let you sit back and watch the show. Okay, y'all. I had to just stop and take a minute to explain what's going on. So, as you can see, this batter is thickening up quite a bit very quickly, to the point where it's kind of really not even pourable. I'm having to scoop it into the mold. Now, kind of I'm trying to remember on the website what I thought it said it had mild acceleration. I don't remember what it said about ricing. I'd have to look and see. But I know it told me one or the other was mild. Okay, so I would say if anything was mild, maybe the ricing. So as you know, when you get the ricing, which is it kind of usually looks like little grains of rice, you have to stick blend it out, and usually it smooths out the batter. It doesn't really hurt anything. It's just the way that the fragrance interacts with the soap. But I'm thinking with the combination of the beer powder, it is turning very quickly into a soap nightmare. If you can see what I'm doing in this mold, this stuff is like paste. It's super thick. There's really no I'm trying to get it as flat as I can. My original design for this soap was to have like the darker bottom, kind of like if you look at beer in a glass and it kind of goes from darker to lighter, that was my concept. Well, I'm kind of thinking I need to maybe readjust my plans just a little bit to accommodate for this crazy stuff that's going on. So, I mean, banging it does nothing. It's not moving. It is almost a rock. I'm actually like, okay, I'm done with you. So, here's the bowl that I put the fragrance in when I started with the brown. So all this chunky stuff you're seeing is severe racing. I mean, I'm sure it's probably been, worse, but it's severe to me in terms of my limited experience. I don't think I've had anything that quite that chunky on me. Again, I don't know if it's the addition of the beer powder. That's the only thing I could think that would make things worse. So I'm doing a lot of stick blending trying to get this ricing out. And very quickly, I'm realizing, my batter is so thick. So initially, what I was going to do was like an ombre, put some titanium dioxide, make it a little lighter, mix it up, put some more titanium dioxide. You know what I mean? And it's if you can see how thick it is in the mold, like it's just not. I can't bang it down. It's not moving. So I kind of went ahead and just put as much as I felt comfortable putting in to do just 3 layers. I don't know why I'm wasting my time trying to bang this around because it's not moving anywhere. So in with my titanium dioxide, I figure maybe the liquid will help kind of loosen up the batter some because I have the water soluble titanium dioxide. So my hope is that, it will loosen it up and make it a little more workable. As you can see, there's literally chunks of soap batter on my stick blender head. I mean, nightmare. Hello. If you've made soap ever, this is not what you want. So yeah, so I'm mixing in the titanium dioxide. It seems to kind of working the batter kind of seems like it's loosening it some. This is also not an ideal way to try to get titanium dioxide into your soap. Typically, you want to stick blend the TD in because it incorporates better with the stick blender. I'm not really sure why. I'll be real honest. I just know it does. So here I am trying to hand stir in this titanium dioxide, hoping to salvage what's left of this. If a smart person would have just dumped it all in the mold and called it a day. But I also believe that if you don't try hard things, you're never gonna be able to deal with and work with them when they come up. So I'm just at this point kind of experimenting. If you can look how hard that is. See that? It's literally solid in the mold. It's crazy. I've never seen a soap set up this fast except maybe one other time I had a soap do this to me, but it literally got hard in the bowl. It was one of my very first ones. If I can ever find the footage, I will share it. That was quite an interesting experience too. So, we're getting the last of this lighter color in the mold. This is supposed to be the frothy part of the beer or ale or whatever you want to call it. My initial design was to kind of mound it a little bit, but at this point, I'm just praying I can get it in the mold and get it looking decent. There is kind of a different texture on this part of the soap, and I'm not really sure why. I'm guessing it was the introduction of the titanium dioxide, and it's already going crazy on me. So hey, why not make it worse? But it did tend to keep it more workable for a little longer. Just trying to get some kind of salvageable texture out of this top to see if I can get some kind of remnants of the initial design I had. Again, not really what I intended, and the soap is absolutely not cooperating. But as long as we can get our embeds on there, I think we'll be okay enough. So let's go ahead and put I can only imagine the amount of like holes and stuff that's going to be in this soap. So I'll be curious to see when I cut it exactly what it looks like. But we're going to go ahead and put on our little beer bottle embeds, and we'll be back for the cut after. Okay, and here's the cut. I'm pleasantly surprised. It doesn't look too bad. Let's see what we get with our actual bar versus the end piece. And it's cutting nice. I actually unmolded this very early. See, not too bad. Got definitely have some parts where when it got thick it just didn't flow into all the corners. But I guess it adds to the rustic charm, which is my hold my beer soap. And as you can tell, this soap definitely lived up to its name. But yeah, overall, I'm pleasantly surprised, with the exception of the sides. I don't see any holes or anything in the middle, which was a big concern I had. The embed seemed to have had adhered well. All the layers stuck together well, and I think I had molded this soap maybe 12 hours after I poured it. So, give yourselves a try at beer soap, whether it's real beer or powdered beer, and maybe pick a fragrance that is a little less traumatizing, or go the other way and try a crazy fragrance with an easy recipe and see how it goes. I encourage everybody to always try something outside of your comfort zone because you're just never going to know what you come up with. So enjoy the rest of the cut, and I'm grateful for everybody that stopped by to make some soap with me today. Thank you.